Sports on Tap is brought to you by the Joe Wright Group with Dobie Real Estate, Jason Stiltner at Flagstar Bank, Baldman Entertainment, Land & Sea Motorsports.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
We are tonight's entertainment.
We're here to fuck shit up.
Sports the way it should be. Nothing sugar-coated, with loaded with all the information you wanted. From legends to prospects, nothing's off limits. Chris and Joe be taking on all topics with no stopping. They keep it rolling and going and ball hopping at a rate that's hard stopping. With news that's jaw dropping, they're getting it in. Sports Center competition, man, they in it to win. This ain't a fluke, from Carolina to Duke, from MSU to Michigan. You'll know if you listening, if you ain't, you missing it. All the excitement, they shock like a thundercloud and ride with lightning. Get it together, you know ain't nobody better. Bring heat than cold weather. You better put on a sweater, you better just let it go and all come and attack. Sit back, relax, let's tell them it's on tap.
We'll do it live. Fuck it.
Welcome to Sports on Tap. I'm Chris Scott alongside Frank Giagata and Joe Waddell. Fellas, how are we?
Doing great.
Fantastic.
Fantastic. That's terrific. That's terrific.
Yeah.
No,
How are you?
I'm here.
How's Chris?
Nobody ever asks you that.
Nobody
How
does.
are you?
I'm here.
Every once in a while we do, but I felt like it's been a few episodes when he
Yeah.
asked us how we're doing. We're just like, all right, fine. And then we just we gloss on. Nobody really goes, hey, Chris, how are you?
I'm good. Just in the process of getting a house, which, Frank, as you know, is, however,
If it wasn't essential, I would tell you don't do it.
Right. However, our realtors have been fantastic throughout this entire process, so we'll get to that later.
Sponsors.
I was going to say, we may mention one or two people involved in that process later.
Yes, we absolutely will. So, that being said, boys, let's just dive right into it. Super Wild Card Weekend, which sadly turned out to be kind of a dud.
It was disappointing.
It really was.
Half the teams showed up ready to play. The other half were just happy they made it.
And each game had one half of that.
You had 1 and 1.
Yeah. Every game was really a dud, besides, I guess, maybe the Cowboys 49ers game when I saw some of the dumbest football ever played.
So that game was at least that game turned out to be the better game of all of them, like we kind of said.
Right. And I did enjoy it sucked watching them lose, but I did enjoy the Raiders game. It was a game.
Well, yeah, that was closer. It was a decent game.
Right.
I shouldn't, and I know my fellow Browns fans are hating me for this. They already do. But I enjoy watching Cincinnati play. I enjoyed watching Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. They went from worst to first, and I'll be honest with you, I don't think they're going away anytime soon.
I don't either, especially this year if they actually do draft an offensive lineman.
To
solidify that line.
Man, they're fun to watch. Yeah, they really are.
I mean, you had that game, which it turned out to be a decent game. Then you had the controversial, touchdown that shouldn't have been a touchdown. We talked about this in our group message.
And Joe, you tell me this. Did it seem like Chris was really pissed off about that?
He's really angry.
Yeah. I thought I would be the angry one in that situation, but you really pissed you off.
It did piss me off because you know how I feel about NFL officiating. I think it's an absolute fucking travesty, and that just adds to it. And then the explanation you get after the game, are you fucking kidding me?
Well, and what I want to see is exactly what is happening now. And it needs to go further, but what's happening now is it's already been put out that ref
they're done.
And that crew will no longer work any NFL playoff games this year. And that needs to happen. So there needs to be accountability.
I just love how the NFL paraded it out there, and they were like, look at us, we're doing something about this.
Right. And seeing that's not enough.
No, it's not enough.
It didn't phase me because I just, like I told Chris, I just expect these fuck-ups to happen. I just especially...
It's sad, but true.
Especially enjoying more than one team. Mm-hmm. I just know 3 or 4 times in a weekend, my teams are going to get screwed by one of those
But instead
calls.
of having to do that, just get the call right, man. Simple as get the call right.
So let me ask you guys this.
Okay.
Because I have an answer for this, but I want to hear yours.
Yeah.
And let's do one at a time.
Okay.
What is, Chris, you want to go first?
Sure.
What is your solution to NFL officiating and how to fix it? And I know there's going to be multiple aspects to it because if there's not, there's no way you're fixing it. right?
Mine is kind of twofold. One, make them full time, which we've said ad
have
nauseum. And two, stop it with these senior citizen referees that can't keep up with the game. Like, come on, man, what are we doing here? Like, why do you guys have dudes that are on AARP reffing NFL football games with some of the best athletes on the planet? It makes absolutely no sense.
They have me at 70 years old trying to keep up with Tyreek Hill.
Exactly. And then three, you get that sky ref or whatever like that can see everything. That's how you fix. And not only that, like why are we still measuring like yardage with chains? Why? When we have the technology to do this with like lasers and things like that, why can't we do that? I don't understand it.
Now, I've said for a while, I don't know why you don't put a chip in each end of the football.
Jesus.
And use technology, and where the tip of that football lands is where the ball is, and you can
a little light.
It would be very easy with the technology we have these days. It'd be very easy. Frank, what would you?
In all honesty, I don't have an answer for you. Like, I look at a problem, and like you said, there's so many different moving parts to fixing that whole thing.
There's a lot.
Yes, the full-time thing, that's for me an obvious start point.
I've preached that for years, and I still can't believe they haven't fucking done that.
It's amazing.
It's literally like a retirement job for some of these guys. They retire from their normal jobs and become NFL refs.
Or they go work their regular job Monday through Friday, and then they go ref a football game on Sunday. It's like, wait, how can you do your job good while doing that? It's impossible.
Yeah, and that's where I look at it, and I say that would be a great place to start. But where it goes from there, I have no idea. I would love to sit here and spin some master plan for you, but it's part of the reason why I just look at things and just throw it up in the air anymore, because it's so fucked up that I don't see a fix happening anytime soon.
And it's not just the NFL; it's just officiating in general.
Oh, period.
It is. But we're being that this is football season right now, and I think football is kind of it's confounded with the fact that football is such a global sport, and it's so liked and it's so out there.
Right.
My solution to this, honestly, it goes hand in hand with you, Chris. Full-time refs. Stop having them be fucking, teachers and lawyers during the week, and NFL referees on Sunday and Monday. It's just no. Full-time refs, pay them accordingly. Make that their full-time job. Make them accountable.
Oh yeah.
Make them do press conferences after games. Make them accountable as far as they can be fined and suspended the same as players can. When players screw up, they have to account for it. They have to talk to the media. Make these refs accountable to the media. Make them accountable to their jobs. When they screw up, they will and can get punished. I understand there's human error, but some of these are just egregious.
Oh, yeah.
And it's insane.
Yeah.
And with the use of review, too. Like, I don't know if either one of you guys got to catch the Wings game yesterday. It was a 1 o'clock start. There was a goaltender interference call. They reviewed the call. The guy had his stick in the crease. It interfered with, I can't even pronounce the Wings goalie's name.
Djokovic.
Yes. Yeah. Interfered with his pad and his ability to push off and go to the other side. They called it a goal and then reviewed it and still called it a goal. It's like you have replay. How do you continuously get the call wrong?
Well, and part of that goes to... I don't really know, because I question people's thought processes every day at my own job, and I look at the way that they think and look at things, and I just go,
"Yep,
what planet are you on?"
Yep.
I had a conversation today with my boss, and I'm like, "Listen, I will be good, and I will not go and call these people names or anything like that, as long as I can come into your office and swear about them to you, and as long as I can get this out to you, then my blood pressure will go back down, and I can go back to my office, and I can go ahead and do my job all day, and continue dealing with people that are like make me pound my head against the wall." So I think for some reason we have the movie Idiocracy going on with people in general these days, and just the thought process has been dumbed down over the years, where they just don't see things properly sometimes, and they don't think about things properly.
The common sense isn't a thing anymore.
It's not. It's absolutely not. And so the other thing for the NFL is I would do exactly what you said. I would have the eye in the sky. They already kind of adapted that and put it into play, where sometimes they call in and they actually change something without going to replay.
Right.
That needs to be all the time.
Yeah.
There needs to be one person in New York watching every play for every single one person per game.
Fuck that. I don't even want one. Give me 2 or 3.
Well, listen,
Give me somebody on all the angles. Every angle you have, put a body in front of that
Right.
camera.
somebody that can see that and look at it, and before the next play goes off, be able to catch a glimpse of it and go, nope, no. We need to bring this back, or nope, that actually was a catch. We need to move that forward.
Yeah.
There needs to be. We have that ability, and they've started implementing that ability. They need to implement it more. That needs to be a legit thing. Fuck these challenge flags. Why is that a thing, man? That shouldn't be a thing. It should just be get the call right,
Yep.
and one person or two people or three, whatever, overlooking the games to see that the refs on the field made the right call. Because listen, I'm not going to sit up here and tell you that the guys on the field are going to get every call right. They're not. It's a fast game. Even if you lower the age restriction, even if you make them full time, it's still a very fast, very physical game that you can not catch everything.
Right.
So there needs to be that person that can help make things accountable and help make sure that things are called the correct way. Those few things, I know they sounds like a lot, but it's really not. Those few things would change the game of football for the better instantly. Instantly.
I would add one more thing to this. You need a clear set of rules, like what constitutes a penalty, whether it be pass interference, that's a huge one. Holding, that's a huge one too. You got to have a clarification of what is and isn't.
And they have to get
what a catch is,
And what is and isn't reviewable.
right? Exactly.
Everything should be
That was the other conversation.
Everything
that
should be
him and I were
If you're
having.
going to have challenge flags,
everything should be
reviewable.
everything should be
Everything.
reviewable. And
in this situation specifically, what
Yeah.
started the whole conversation, it was an errant whistle
Yeah.
that came out of nowhere.
but according to the rules,
you can't review that.
you should be able to fucking review
yeah,
that.
but according to the rules, you can't review it. But according to the rules, that shouldn't have been a touchdown either.
Right. Nope. They should
According
have
to
had
the
to replay
rules,
the down.
you have to replay the down. Now
And
I do
To your credit, Chris, you called that on the spot.
well, and I will tell you, I agree with you in the simple fact that that whistle did not affect that play at all.
It didn't.
No, it didn't.
It didn't.
It didn't affect that play at all. But that's besides the point.
Yeah.
It's in the rules
Yep.
that if a whistle blows during a play, it's null and void. You replay the down.
So you don't know what happened after that. Maybe they settle
Yeah.
for a field goal. Maybe they have to try field goal
Right.
gets blocked. You don't know. You have no idea.
You don't.
But you kind of took that away from the Raiders, and they kind of got jobbed on that. Now is that why they lost the game? No.
No.
Did it help? No. But that's not why they lost the game. I'm just asking, just get it right, man. Simply, just get it right. I'm sick of this. Every week we talk about this because we have to, because it's a thing, and it shouldn't be a thing.
It's the two things on this show. If we never had to talk about them again,
Oh my
I'd
God,
be so
it's
happy.
every week with
It's
these
this,
idiots.
and it's the Lions being shit.
Fair. I mean, one of them's always going to be a thing. The other one hopefully won't be a thing, but you know which one I'm talking about, Frank.
I'm legitimately sitting here not sure which one you do mean. I don't have faith in either getting fixed.
Well, I have faith in one getting fixed before the other one. I think you can read between the lines on that one.
Yeah, I got. I knew where you were going the whole time.
So back to the actual game itself. It was an all right game. I mean, there was nothing really special about that game.
No.
I didn't think Joe Burrow looked like a stud.
It was a great game to kick off the
That dude's gonna
playoffs.
that dude's gonna be an absolute beast. He is.
Joe Burrow looks like the real deal.
Yeah,
I
he
mean, I
does.
said it last week. He's that dude, man.
Yep, he's-
and that kid has ice water in his veins, man.
Yeah.
It don't matter what situation the game is.
Didn't you say that about Mac Jones too?
No, I believe I just said it about Burrow last week, but Mac Jones is another one. Look at the season he had.
I was gonna say I
know.
don't remember
What?
who. Somebody said something about Mac Jones last week about him basically having ice water in his veins. I didn't remember if it was
That
on
was
here or
not. That
somewhere
did not
else.
come from me. I can say
was
that.
I know it wasn't you.
I think I'll be honest with you. I think I said it about Burrow last week, same as I'm saying it this week. But I did tout Mac Jones last week because now I know we talked about this before, and I'm gonna bring it up now. Everyone overreacts. Oh, the Patriots got stomped in the playoffs, and Mac Jones looked like garbage. And see, I told you he wasn't gonna be any good. So one playoff game in his rookie season takes away from everything he did during the regular season. when he was a fucking rookie and looked like he was a seasoned veteran for most of the season.
But that's where it goes to the media with the hype train. with him.
No, it's not just that. You're on social media. You see it, same as I do. It's not just the media. It's social media. It's people in general. Everyone, for some reason, has to be polar when it comes to their opinions.
Right.
It's got to be polar.
Right.
It's got to be Mac Jones fucking sucks or Mac Jones is the next coming of Tom Brady.
Right.
It can't be in the middle anywhere where it's like Mac Jones did pretty damn good for a rookie.
He had a solid season.
He had a solid season for a rookie.
Leave it at that.
And nobody really expected that out of him.
No.
I know I didn't. And you watch him, you go, all right, the kid might have a good future in this league. Let's leave it at that.
And he got trucked by a really good team.
Well, that's why I'm glad you were talking about Mac Jones, because we move into that game.
Yeah,
And
that was more of just a sarcasm thing.
I've never been happier to be so wrong about a football game in my life, because I was like, playoff Belichick, that's a different animal. Holy shit!
Yeah.
That was 20 some odd years of absolute fuck you against the New England Patriots and Bill Belichick. They let it all out on them. And when you play a perfect game offensively, that's impressive.
Well, one of the biggest things, sorry, Frank, one of the biggest things is they actually have a run game now.
Yeah, if they can continue to do
I
that.
knew we
yeah,
were going to
sure.
the same spot. That's why I wasn't too worried about it.
No, yeah.
It's the one thing I took from that game that I absolutely loved watching.
I'm watching-
Singletary run all over. him.
I'm watching the game going, wait, they can run the ball now? That's going to be a problem.
Yeah. Because now you have a run game, you have a pass game, and you have a mobile quarterback.
Yeah. I'm like, that's going to be a problem for teams.
Absolutely.
And if their defense that play that what's his face made the safety for Buffalo that ended the game right there in my opinion. That pick in the end zone, I'm like, that's ball game. That's it. That would what a play that was.
Plays like that, like those are the statement plays in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like those are the plays you need.
Yeah.
So tell me if I'm wrong.
You're wrong.
I said if. I know you enjoy telling me I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
I believe every team left in the AFC playoffs has beaten Kansas City.
Cincinnati, I believe, has, right?
Tennessee.
Tennessee, I believe, has. Yeah.
And Buffalo.
Joe, I think you're right. Yeah, I think you absolutely are right on that one.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All right.
That makes things
The
interesting.
the top team in the AFC that everyone thinks is going to make it out of there, no, and they weren't the top team. I know that. Don't correct me. Don't write me letters.
It's the
Don't
favorite.
jump on social media.
Right.
They were the favorite, despite the fact that Tennessee was ranked number 1. The favorite to come out of the AFC is Kansas City, and now all 3 teams that are left in the playoffs, besides them in that conference, have beaten Kansas City.
Right.
Just saying.
I'll say this. I think this is a different Kansas City team than when a lot of those took place.
I agree.
I fully believe that. So, I mean, we'll see. Again,
Although the Cincinnati game was late in the season.
fair.
Cincinnati housed them late in the season.
Yeah, they did. That was like a really high scoring game if I remember.
It
correctly.
was, but
yeah.
they put it to them.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that game. Buffalo, Kansas City.
Dude, this whole weekend I'm looking forward to.
Hopefully
Every
the games
one
are
of these
much
games
better.
look-
Hopefully the games are much better than
I don't
this
know if
last
they could
weekend.
get really much worse than that. I mean, you move on from from that blowout, Buffalo and New England, and then you go on to like Philly, Tampa, the first game on Sunday, which that was one of the most boring football games I've ever seen.
I had so much hope, and then we'll just throw the credit at Tom Brady. Then Tom Brady does what Tom Brady does.
I'm watching the game, and I'm just like, I'm not even remotely interested in this game, like at all.
Nick Sirianni looked exactly like the coach you guys talked about him being at the beginning of the season.
That team just looked flat out overmatched.
Well, so I gave him credit last week, and I'm not going to take that back, but I'll say that in this playoff game, he did what he did throughout the season, and it was a detriment to the team. That amazingly, that team could have won more games if he'd coached a little bit differently. And he's so quick to abandon the run, so much so that he abandons it in the first quarter, and it's like then
Arians said they didn't even game plan for the run.
No,
they knew
because-
they weren't going to have to.
because he doesn't. But when you've seen that team and they've implemented the run game along with Hurts being able to be a mobile quarterback and play action off of that, they've had success.
Right.
The problem is he doesn't do it early enough, and he abandons it, and he just tries to rely all on Jalen Hurts. And listen, the kid's athletic, but you can't put it all on his shoulders, man. It's just not possible. You can't do it.
That's when you panic, coach, because you see Tampa Bay scoring, and you're like, oh shit, I got to keep up with them, or we're gonna lose.
And you
Yeah.
see Tom Brady on the other side of the field. Yeah.
Like, we're going to lose, so we got to chuck the ball all over the field. When, if you do that, as if you, anybody that's watched football knows, If you do that, the defense is going to say, okay, we're just going to pin our ears back and we're going to go get you.
Yeah, it's meet you at the quarterback.
Yep.
and the defensive backs can just drop back
Yeah.
and play. There's no question mark as to, is it going to be a run? Do we need to play up a little bit?
Nope.
Do I need to pinch in? There's no question marks about that.
Just basically
It's-
keep everything in front of me. We're
Right.
good.
It's on the defensive line and the linebackers that are blitzing. It's pin your ears back, meet you at the quarterback, and for everybody else, it's keep your man in front of you, and just play it straight up. There's no questions.
Nope. Yeah, when you abandon the running game like that, it's kind
They're going to do the same thing this week if fucking, I almost called them St. Louis, if LA doesn't work on that run game.
right. And Cam Akers looked good.
He did.
against
Dude,
Arizona.
can we talk about that hit?
Oh, that was yeesh.
In real time,
Yeah.
I watched it and I was so happy. I love hits like that. But Joe and I were talking about it, and when he went down, just the way,
yeah.
oh my God, I was worried about him even being able to walk.
Yeah, that was bad.
That was a rough hit.
That was
I
a
was
really rough
so happy to hear. Extremities are cool, like just
Yep.
a concussion.
And I didn't even hear the hit because
man.
I had it on the other TV. So I was watching a TV show, like I was telling you guys before the show started, and so I didn't have the volume on. I was watching it, but I was also watching a TV show, and the volume was on a TV show. But just seeing the hit,
Take one of these
made me
bats and hit
cringe.
that helmet, and that's what
Yeah.
it sounded like.
it just looking at it, I was like, ooh, oh, that's rough.
It was not good.
I loved it until it got to a point where it looked like he was hurt.
Oh yeah. Looked like he
Well,
couldn't move.
Right. Once it was like, oh, this is like life-altering type of hurt.
Yeah.
We're going to stop enjoying this.
Well, as soon as he got hit, he did the
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
the clinch.
And he just kind of fell.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, it was but it's like I described it to you yesterday in the text. It was a hit that you've seen 10 to 20 times a
Right.
game. Like
And-
it was nothing different than
And
you've seen.
unfortunately, he's just as much at fault in the whole thing.
They both lowered their heads.
Yeah.
Defensive player a little more, but the Akers kind of lowered his head, but more his shoulder as well. He kind of came down with the shoulder. But
And he's got momentum behind
right,
him.
but that's a hit you see 20 times a game, and 20 times a game you see the players get up, walk back to the huddle.
Yep.
And that's why I said I was loving it until I realized he was hurt.
Yep.
And that's the point where it's like, okay, got to shut this down. Stop being hyped about this.
Well, and
this is a grown man whose life is about to change
Right.
if he's really as hurt as it looks.
And that actually brings me to a problem I have with the NFL and officiating is they need to get rid of the taunting
Oh,
penalties
100%.
because
They almost called him on one.
okay, but that is one of the main cases where I would have said, okay, throw the flag.
But here's the thing. If you look at what he was doing, they talked to him about it. They didn't actually go to call the penalty.
Yeah.
But he walks over him and he goes like this, and he tells him, stay down, because he knows he's hurt.
He didn't know he was hurt. He didn't
No,
know he was
he had
hurt.
no idea he was
He had no
hurt.
idea. He was.
I saw him go over him, go, stay down.
Yeah, because he was taunting him that he knocked him
Okay,
over.
so-
He's like, stay down.
And see, that's where
but you saw his mood change afterwards.
I
His
saw
mood drastically changed afterwards.
His mood initially, he had the defensive players coming after him.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, my guy gets hurt like that too, 100% going at him. But the second everybody realized what was going on, that's when the entire field changed.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, and the defensive players kind of came after him. He was swearing at them like, man, I didn't
and that's
fucking-
why, and that's probably why I thought he was just telling him to stay down, because I assumed the fired up shit was him going at the rest of them.
No, he did not know he was hurt originally,
Okay.
and he was taunting him like, "Stay the fuck down," don't even try to.
Oh,
don't
I
even
thought
come
he
at
was
me.
trying to be his boy and be like, "Hey, don't get up."
Well, that dude wasn't getting up at all. But
Right, and that's why I thought he did it.
yeah, no, but you could see where his mood changed. But in that case, there's very few cases where I would say throw a taunting flag. Right? Very few. Like
And
you
in
guys,
that situation, yeah, I would agree with you.
in the one situation all fucking year where I look at it and go, you probably should have thrown a taunting flag on that one because the guy's knocked the fuck out and he's standing over him telling him to stay down as if he's fucking Muhammad Ali over Sonny Liston, but you don't throw the flag. But you throw a flag on Darren Waller when he spikes the ball between his legs out of bounds.
On the
It's-
sideline.
Right. So it's calls like that. It's the calls where you take your judgment into it that I hate. There's been the taunting calls have been detrimental to teams in winning games this year more times than I've looked at it and went, yeah, that was really taunting. You should have called that. It's been judgment calls where their judgment looked like it was fucking insane. And to me, it's just the one time when you probably should have called it.
You don't call it.
And you don't call it.
Right.
Just get rid of that rule. Get rid of that.
No, I'm with you on that.
I
one.
would agree with you.
And I'm sure we'll get back to that game here in a minute. Let's hop on the Dallas-San Francisco game, which we thought was going to be the best game of the weekend. And
To me, it was.
I guess for all intents and purposes,
It really was a good game.
it ended up being a good game with some of the dumbest football I've ever seen in my life. Mike McCarthy, and when we made our picks last week, I said I was taking the Niners. And if for no other reason than Mike McCarthy is the Dallas Cowboys head coach. And Mike McCarthy did something really fucking stupid. And I knew it was coming.
What was it, 14 seconds left?
It was like,
fucking quarterback sneak.
What are you doing? Not only the quarterback sneak,
From like your own 35.
but you
41.
41.
but
sorry.
San Francisco has San Francisco has their defense on the field. And you have your punt team out, and then you run your punt team off and bring your offense back on the field, and trying to get San Francisco to call a timeout. Why on earth would they call a timeout, dude? Like, what are you
The only
doing?
person he confused is himself.
He did. I'm sitting here watching, going, what are you doing?
But Mike McCarthy won a Super Bowl with Green Bay, so he's a fantastic, great coach.
Obviously, it's how you feel about Doug
And,
Peterson.
and somebody said that, and I agree with that. Wholeheartedly.
100%.
Wholeheartedly.
Yes,
I agree.
That's how you feel about Doug Peterson.
I mean, you won me over on that one. You told me you can't accidentally win a Super Bowl, right? So he's got to be a great coach, right?
Doesn't mean you're a great coach, but you can't accidentally win a Super Bowl.
You can stumble into one.
We'll agree to disagree on that one.
With a good enough team, you can. Mike McCarthy proved it, and Peterson proved it.
Okay.
I'm sorry, bad coaches have won Super Bowls. They didn't win them because of them. They won them because of the team
I didn't
around
say
them.
they won them because of them.
Yeah, but I'm saying as a coach.
But that doesn't just
It's
because
not-
you won a Super Bowl not because of them doesn't make you a bad coach.
No, I didn't say it makes you a bad coach.
You just did.
No, I didn't say it makes you a bad coach. I said you can be a bad coach and win a Super Bowl. Both things can be the case.
You literally just called him a bad coach.
Yeah, I think Peterson is a bad coach.
Okay.
Who happened to win a Super Bowl?
Okay.
I didn't say he's a bad coach because he won a Super Bowl.
Okay.
He's a bad coach who happened to win a Super Bowl. Same with McCarthy.
Fair enough.
Oh, but wait, no. He's a great coach because he won a Super Bowl. Yeah, he's a great coach because he won a Super
Yeah, because that's what I said.
Bowl. Not you. Not you.
Hey, for once, I was going to let you two argue. It was nice not being on the other side of it.
But to the game itself, just some of the decisions in that game were just. I love seeing Dallas lose. I love
absolutely.
seeing Dallas lose, especially the way they fucking lost.
I
the
did
game.
too. I was with a Dallas Cowboys fan watching that
It
game.
was great. And
I
seeing all the memes and stuff afterwards.
I got a picture of his disappointment after the game happened. I was like, I got to take a picture of this disappointment on your face wearing that jersey.
That's fantastic.
That's literally why
Steve-
I wore the Kobe jersey today.
Steve from Baldman Entertainment. I was hanging out with him and his wife, and he's a huge Cowboys fan.
That's unfortunate.
And yeah, everybody has their faults. I don't hold that against him. I probably should, but it was nice watching that game and watching San Francisco run all over them while he was wearing the Van Der Esch jersey. Meanwhile, the Cowboys couldn't even spell Van Der Esch on the jersey of the actual player on the fucking field.
No.
They misspelled his name on his jersey.
I can respect that jersey, though. Like, there's certain players on Dallas I look at and go, no, I wouldn't. Van Der Esch, obviously Micah.
There's
other
literally
guys,
no
maybe.
player on the Dallas Cowboys I would ever get a jersey of.
Diggs, maybe.
Possibly, save for Michael Irvin. That's about it. That's it.
Okay.
I wouldn't even get an Urban.
And
I mean,
and the only reason why I would get an Urban jersey.
Yeah.
I was going to say, to clarify,
Yeah, because
I
he went to the
wouldn't
U.
get it.
Yeah. That's,
No, I do like Micah Parsons, but now that he's on Dallas, I just can't. But we talked about it before the draft. I'm a huge Micah Parsons fan. I thought he was going to be a great player in the NFL. I'm very disappointed he went to the Cowboys because now I can't truly root for him.
Right.
But,
And it works out perfectly in my situation because if you go on to Fanatics or the NFL shop or any of that, you can't buy my size in a Cowboys jersey anyways. They don't make them.
Andrew says Joe is very agreeable lately. I am. If you have an insane opinion on football or even just a mildly, opinionated opinion on football, you know what? I will absolutely agree with you rather than argue with you. It's just not worth it for me anymore. Whatever you have to say. Yep. I agree.
Nice. Now, between these
You saw our conversation yesterday.
Yeah, I figured. I figured he did.
now between these last two games, which one was the worst game? Pittsburgh, Kansas City, or Arizona, LA?
Arizona, LA, because the first quarter of Pittsburgh, Kansas City wasn't an atrocity.
Fair enough. I thought they both sucked. I did. I had.
Oh, we're talking 7 quarters of awful
was like,
football
God, this is
and
bad.
1 quarter of okay football.
Like, this is just.
But I
bad.
can tell you, I watched more of the Arizona Rams game
Yeah, I probably did too.
than I did the Pittsburgh KC game, because to me, I still thought there was a possibility Arizona could make it an intriguing game because they have some talent on the team. I thought maybe it could go, and then they just didn't. But I never had a question of who was going to win that Kansas City Pittsburgh game. Like,
Oh,
ever.
no,
like
no.
I don't
ever.
think anybody did.
No, and it was, and now I'm not saying that question whether Arizona was going to come back and win that game or not. I just thought they might be able to make it more interesting.
Right.
So I kept watching because I was interested. I had zero interest in that KC Pittsburgh game. To me,
agree with you.
I watched maybe a quarter and I was like, I can't do this, man. I just can't.
I think
do
the
it.
Raiders would have definitely given them a better game. I do. 100%. I think the Raiders.
I
would have
told you
given them
that
a better
last
game.
week. I think that was the game to make. And I understand the way
Yeah.
everything fell, why
But
you
it
can't
was-
do it.
Good
But
Lord, it was just a bad football game. It really was. I'm just like I don't really even want to watch this.
I also think the way that Las Vegas played,
Yeah.
that they would have played Kansas City just as well.
Right.
Like, I think they would have been the same team regardless of which opponent they had.
But back to the LA Arizona game. Now Matt Stafford's the best quarterback ever, right? Because he won a playoff game.
And Kyler Murray is dog shit.
Yes. That's what I've been reading.
Yeah, Kyler Murray is dog shit. He won't amount to anything in the NFL. And Matt Stafford finally won a playoff game, got the monkey off his back, and it's all Detroit's fault the whole 12 years he was here.
Yep.
And did I get all that right?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, I agree with all that.
Yeah, because this is year 13. Yeah,
I agree
So,
with all
yeah,
that.
Yeah.
Everything checks
I
out.
agree with
Absolutely.
everything.
You should.
Every bit of that.
He's the best. He's great now. It was never any of his fault. It was all Detroit's.
It's proven.
Yep. Absolutely.
Proved it.
Yeah, you didn't see him make any of the exact same errors this season.
Seriously.
He didn't throw a bunch of random, really stupid forced throws that
He-
went for interceptions.
He didn't throw 4 pick sixes this year.
No.
Wait, hold on. Yeah, he did. All right. But I mean, it's still a great quarterback because he won a playoff game this year, and he didn't win one ever in Detroit in 12 years. First year in LA, won a playoff game. All Detroit's fault, not Matt Stafford's. Agreed. Joe agrees.
Joe agrees.
That's just gonna be my new slogan.
Joe agrees.
Joe agrees.
I like that. That's pretty solid.
Joe agrees. Joe agrees with everything right now.
So Chris knows where I'm coming from with this, and you're not so much privy to it, but Chris, you know where I'm coming from when I tell you that social media with sports has just beat me into a point of just agreeing with everything because I'm tired of arguing with it.
There's no point in arguing.
There isn't.
I'll get to a certain point and I'm just like, I'm done. Why?
And I've hit the point where I don't even start that
Like,
argument
why?
anymore. I just look at it and go, yeah, you're right. Sure. Mm-hmm. What do you say?
And I can see the pain in his eyes when he does say that even.
But there's no pain anymore. It's just kind of like, yeah.
In his
yeah.
there is, because he wants to argue it.
I don't anymore.
He's just fighting himself on arguing
I'm
it.
I'm comfortable not. It took up too much of my time, and I'm like, I just don't have time for you fuckers anymore. I just don't.
You spent an obscene amount of time arguing with people on Facebook.
But
sometimes.
it's to the
not
point-
all the
it's-
time, especially the last few years.
But,
right.
before,
And a lot of
And
it's
I just can't do it
it's-
anymore.
A lot of it's just trolling. That's lit.
Uh-huh.
They know they're wrong, but they're
Right.
just going to keep going to see how far they can get you to go.
But those ones I can almost tolerate more than the ones who don't even know they're being stupid. You know what I mean? Like I can tolerate because I can pick up on an actual troll and go, "Ha! I see what you're doing.
No.
I'm gonna back away on this one and just kind of watch. I'm gonna watch from the sidelines because I see what you're doing here. I like that.
I'll let you
like,
get some other
Yeah,
stupid
right.
guy.
Like I like your moxie. I like what you're doing. I want to view this from the sidelines. But with people who don't realize how dumb their opinions are and how little they know about the sport, that's the ones where I just want to argue with them. But I've found out I don't want to argue with them because they're never going to see the other side of it. It's their opinion, it's their thoughts, and you're never going to change their mind because they can't argue in stats and knowledge and facts. They only argue in this is how I feel. This is what I saw. People watch 3 hours of football a week. 3 hours of football a week. And they see some memes and some funny pictures and quotes on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. and then all of a sudden they're experts on whatever they feel because they saw a meme on Facebook and Twitter that backed up their thought process. So, yep, we were 100% right. And it's like, oh, God. Nope, you're right. I'm done. Yep,
If you
you're right.
look hard enough on the internet, you will find something that agrees with you.
Boom.
You know who I agree with?
Boom.
All right, then. My guy Jason Stiltner from Flagstar Bank. If you're looking to buy a home, such as myself, refinance or even consolidate debt, give my guy Jason Stiltner at Flagstar Bank a call today at 248-752-3631. Rates are currently incredibly low. I can attest to that. And find out how you could get up to $750 towards cost or up to $10,000 in down payment assistance. So once again, give my guy Jason Stiltner from Flagstar Bank a call today at 248-752-3631. Flagstar Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC, NMLS number 27546.
Up to 10 grand for
Boom.
closing? Shit.
Yes.
I wish they had something like that when I was
I know,
doing this
right?
shit.
Right? It's crazy.
Could have used the extra 10 grand.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, I might have to look into that.
All of a sudden, Joe's going to be moving now.
Right.
I might have to look into that.
So let's jump into the divisional round, shall we? Since
Let's do it to
kind of went over the wild card round, super wild card round. Sorry, super wild card round.
you
Is
want
that
me-
what they call it now?
Do you want me to throw the
Yes.
the picks
Yes.
thing up there?
Yes.
Should I do it now?
Yes.
Right now?
Yes.
Now?
No.
Now.
Yes. Oh, let's go here. We're gonna start off with the first game on Saturday, the 4:30 game. Bengals traveling to Tennessee to take on the Titans. What do you got? What are you guys feeling?
Are we picking with spreads or
Hey,
without
just
them?
straight up's fine.
Straight up?
Yeah, straight
All
up.
right.
It's what we did last week, and they're not on the site again because I'm having more issues with uploading the site. I will get them on there eventually, so
Right.
bear with us. But yeah,
As far as this game goes, on paper, it's the worst matchup, but when you weigh out everything going on, I'm really excited for this game.
I am too, actually.
Like, since he's not a flashy team, Tennessee's not a flashy team, but this could be the best game of the weekend. in my
I have a
opinion.
feeling this is going to be very high scoring.
Give me Tennessee. Like I said, I know I've talked a little bit of shit about Vrabel, and it's not that he's not a great coach. It's that I think Tennessee has another level they haven't gotten to yet. I think you may see something like that in these playoffs.
I'm going to go the opposite of you. I'm taking the Bengals in this one.
Okay.
I'm riding the Joe Burrow train on this. I love the way they kind of ended the season, gone into the playoffs, especially how they played against the Raiders. And like Joe said, that dude's cold-blooded.
It's the
I
one
don't-
thing I didn't get to say on them. Watching that game and actually getting to watch Jamar Chase, that dude's fucking incredible.
Yeah, that dude's a freak. And again, we don't know if Derrick Henry's going to play or not. I have no idea.
It sounds like they're
he-
thinking so.
But even if he does play,
But again,
we're-
it
yeah.
sounds like they're
Right.
thinking so.
right. But again, even if he does, we don't know where he's at health-wise, 60%,
Right.
70, 80, whatever. But no, give me the Bengals. I got a feeling about the Bengals walking into Tennessee. and just-
Without Derrick Henry, yeah, that's a smart
even
choice.
with Derrick Henry, I think they beat him.
Okay.
and Andrew takes the Bengals.
Okay.
I'm riding on Frank's side here.
Okay.
I'm going with the Titans. I think there could be a run in this team. Now they made a run 2 years ago.
AFC
A
Championship,
run that nobody thought they would go on.
Yeah.
So, and I think that year was overachieving for them. And when you look at the quarterback they have, it's Ryan Tannehill. And until he got to Tennessee, everyone had cast him off as just this shitty ass fucking quarterback that
Except these
couldn't
two
win anything.
guys right here.
Right. and but to me that goes to prove my point in some of these other things of it's so polar on people's opinions on players where, he was in Miami.
Yeah.
He did look like dog shit,
He did.
but even in looking like dog shit, there was a couple people sitting in this room that could look at that and go, he's still a good quarterback. It's a bad situation. If you put him in the right situation, he's still a good quarterback. And he's proven that with Vrabel on Tennessee. And I think he comes out. I think he looks good in this game. I think you're going to see a rejuvenated Julio Jones in this game, honestly. And I'm going to take the Titans to win a close game and a very, very hard-fought good game against Cincinnati. I think this will be one of the better games of the weekend, honestly.
I agree with you.
You said Andrew's got the Bungles?
Yeah.
All right.
Next up, we got the Niners traveling to Green Bay to take on the Packers. Joe, you want to hit this one?
I got to ride with them. I picked them to win to go to the Super Bowl. I'm riding with San Francisco.
Yeah, I got the same thing. I picked them to go to the Super Bowl as well. Something about that. Jimmy G still scares the shit out of me. He just does. Because he's kind of like Stafford in that regard. He'll just make that really, or he'll like airmail like a wide open receiver that's open by like 10 yards.
He'll have a good game,
Right.
but he'll make one really boneheaded
Right.
play, and you're like, that might have just cost you the game, man. Like, what the fuck?
What I do think is going to happen in this game, though, is I think Green Bay is going to game plan toward just shutting down Deebo Samuel. 100% I think they're going to gear towards shutting him down. So somebody like Ayuk or somebody like that needs to step up. And
This is where
could be a Kittle game.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. This is where Kittle steps up.
Yep.
This is where you rely on that run game
Yep.
and that offensive scheme where Elijah Mitchell, who came out of nowhere and is starting over Trey Sermon, who was drafted 4 rounds before him, but Elijah Mitchell behind that offensive line has looked amazing all fucking year.
Yep.
And this is where that run game, I think they're going to run it down their throat. And that defense is playing good enough that they can stop Devontae Adams, and it's really all they have to stop on Green Bay. Because Devontae Adams, if you look at his breakdowns against the other players on that roster, he's got like 1,000 more yards than the next closest receiver.
Yeah.
He's got like 60 catches more than the next receiver.
It's
like,
the 12 and 17 show.
It's
That's all that
it's
is over there.
insane how different his numbers are from the next closest guy. And basically, it's the Niners defense against Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams. And I think the Niners offense can run over that Green Bay defense. And then it's all up to the Niners defense to stop Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams, and I think they do it.
If that D-line can get the pressure they've been getting the past
Yep.
few weeks, whatever, coming in. Yeah.
Yep. Andrew took the Packers.
Andrew's taking Green Bay. As a surprise to absolutely nobody, I'm taking my man crush, Aaron Rodgers.
Okay. All right.
With his John Wick haircut.
Yes.
John Wick haircut.
I just, not to argue everything Joe just said,
No,
because
no.
that is the very likely way I
No,
see that
do
game
argue
going.
it.
The only thing that I think is going to happen in that game is I think you're going to see Green Bay focus more on their run game finally this season.
If they're even going to be able to run it,
If they can.
that's going to be
Yeah.
that's going to be a huge question.
I just think that the mindset
Yeah,
going
not
into
gonna-
it
yeah.
for the Niners is going to be stop Adams, stop Rodgers.
Right.
You got those guys coming out of the back.
Well,
I just see
You
it
think
being
Green Bay is going to
possible.
rely on Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon?
Yeah.
More?
Okay.
I agree with you.
honestly, I actually
I think if you want a shot at winning that game, you have to.
this one I actually do agree with him on
No,
on that part of it.
No, I
I
agree.
still think San Francisco's going to win though. Next,
I
up,
agree with you.
So wait, should I,
Joe agrees.
Joe
do you
agrees.
agree with him or do you agree with me on all these?
Joe
Yes,
agree-
yes.
Joe agrees.
Joe agrees.
So I'm going to literally put the matchups in the column for Joe's picks.
Yes.
No, I did take San Francisco, but I also Joe also agrees with
Joe
your
also
assess-
agrees with me.
Joe also agrees with your assessment
That's all
of the
that
game.
matters.
Joe agrees.
Next up, we got the Rams and the Buccaneers. I'll take this one. This one's actually a really small spread. Give me the Buccaneers. Granted, yes, Stafford, he finally got the monkey off his back. He finally got his playoff win. Congratulations, whatever. I think he's going to do something really stupid in this game, like throw a pick six or something, like at the worst possible time, and Tampa Bay is going to end up winning. And I think Brady's just going to go Tom Brady. That's what he does. So yeah, give me. And I know the Bucs O line is kind of down right now.
I won't give away my pick, but Joe agrees with everything you said.
Cool.
Other than the pick at this point, Joe agrees.
Fair enough. Give me the Bucs.
So in this game,
Joe agrees.
I said something last week, and then I went against it, and I'm about to do the same thing again. Don't pick against Tom Brady in the playoffs.
And you're doing
that
it.
being said,
2 weeks
I'm going to pick Matt Stafford in the playoffs.
2 weeks in a row you're going against Tom Brady.
Yes. And
Are you-
this week I'm actually picking Matt
Are
Stafford.
you reverse psychologing Tom Brady into the Super Bowl?
I think that's what's going to end up happening. It's unintentional, but that's what's going to end up happening.
Frank,
I'm going with the Rams, though.
Joe agrees
Joe agrees?
with everything but your pick.
So wait, if you agree with him, everything but his pick, and then you agree with me, everything but my pick,
I'll tell you right now.
the refs win?
No. I'll give you my true assessment. All joking aside, true assessment of this game is Tampa has a lot of injuries. They were able to overcome those this week against Philadelphia, who they completely outmatched. I believe their injuries will come to light a little more in this game because they did lose 2 offensive linemen. One of them came back, but you don't know how that's going to be after this week, whether they're going to be able to bounce back or not, whether they're going to be able to play or not.
And the Rams ain't the Eagles.
The Rams are not the Eagles, and I think Matt Stafford and the Rams, not just Matt Stafford, there's a whole team there that's really good. I think the Rams win this game. I think it's a close game, but I think those injuries on Tampa come to light a little more in this game, and I think the Matt Stafford haters are going to have another out in saying Matt Stafford only won this game because of the injuries to Tampa Bay. If they weren't so injured, he would not have won this game. So that's going to be the out for Matt Stafford haters, and for Matt Stafford lovers, they're going to have another playoff win under their belt to say that he is now the greatest quarterback of all time. And that's how I think that game's going to go.
What do we got on the board?
Ding, ding, ding. Bucks receivers going to let them down. Rams.
Okay.
Andrew? Joe agrees.
There you go.
Do the Bucks have receivers at this point?
They've won.
Yeah, and he's
and
a
a couple
deep
backups,
threat,
yeah.
so that ain't gonna work
They
out
have
too
Evans.
well. And they have Scotty Miller,
Well,
who's
yeah.
also a deep threat.
Yeah.
But they have Gronk.
Cameron Brate.
O.J. Howard. Bunch of great tight ends. Haven't done shit in their entire careers.
Chris is like, can you stop naming Tampa Bay Buccaneers so I can go to the next game?
Chris agrees.
I was just hoping
Chris
to get
agrees.
the stupid look for a little bit
Chris
longer.
agrees.
And finally, the last game of the weekend, the Buffalo Bills travel to Arrowhead to take on the Chiefs. Anyone of you guys want to take this one first?
Give me the Chiefs.
Yeah, I don't really have much analysis on this game. I'd like to see the Bills take the Chiefs down.
I don't see the Bills doing it 2 weeks in a row.
I just don't see the Chiefs team losing this game. I think their experience. Now, don't get me wrong. Buffalo's not inexperienced in the playoffs. They've been in the playoffs and they've made a deep run. I just think Kansas City ends up outlasting them in this game a little bit and pulls off the win. So
Buffalo been hot and cold all year. That's the only reason I'm going Chiefs.
Now, I hate picking my teams.
As do I.
That's why we kept it nice and short so we could get to it.
Give me the Bills.
Okay.
It looks like they've finally developed a running game, which I think can only help.
Joe agrees.
And also, I think they're on a fucking mission this year. I do. I think they're on an absolute mission this year.
I love, but I hate how he's talking in the third person. He keeps going, Joe agrees.
Joe agrees.
Joe agrees.
Joe agrees. No, I think
It's funny, but it's driving me nuts.
I think Buffalo's on a mission
You
this
should have
year.
never told me that.
I know.
Also, I think that using Josh Allen more as a runner is an X factor.
That's the other thing that I actually like about Daboll is that he's finally coming around. We talked about how he was almost scared to do it. Like it looked like he was nervous to get his quarterback hurt.
Yep.
And it's like your quarterback is a 250-pound running back who has a gun,
Who has a
and
rocket
can throw
launcher attached to
who
his
can
arm.
throw the football. Like just
Or attached to his shoulder.
run him,
Yeah.
use him in the run game, and he finally looks like he's doing that. Yeah,
I think
Joe
it's-
agrees.
Part of me wonders if that was intentional, though. Just to save him for this point of the year.
And
And then let him lose.
it might have been.
Maybe.
I don't give him enough credit for doing that.
But I was going to say, I don't know how intelligent he is.
But I
so.
think that AFC Championship game last year, I think that left a rotten taste in Buffalo's in their mouth. Just really got in their head, and they said, "No, this isn't happening again." So I think I don't think they're going to blow them out by any means, and it's not going to be a perfect game like it was against New England. But they're on a mission this year, I think, and I think they walk into Arrowhead, and I think they beat the Chiefs.
Andrew takes the Bills.
Bills.
Okay.
The Bills.
Okay.
And that's it for your divisional picks.
And those are the picks.
Those are the
Those
picks.
are the picks.
Yes. So, hopefully we get better matchups than we did in the wild card round.
Hopefully.
Just better games. Come on, man. We
I
see
hope
better
so.
games.
I mean, you guys aren't giving me a great segue here, but if If you want to throw the thing up, we got
Spe-
we got another read.
speaking of good picks.
There you go.
Yeah, but then he started.
Speaking of good picks.
Speaking of great-
Did I interrupt you? I'm sorry.
no, that's gonna be the last thing I complain about you ever doing.
I should have started naming off like random like Buffalo Bill players.
If there's one thing that I don't think I could actually get mad at Chris for, it's interrupting.
Dawson Knox. Devin Singletary.
Hey,
Zach Moss.
for real though, Knox
Micah Hyde.
could be the next great tight end.
Jordan
Cole
Poyer.
Beasley.
Jordan Poyer.
Is he still there? They run him out of the
Oh,
league
he's still
yet?
there.
Oh, okay.
He's still there.
Unvaccinated.
Milano.
Unvaccinated at all.
Whether you're buying or selling your home, now is the time to take advantage of having the expertise of 3 real estate agents for the price of 1 on your side. Make the right move. Give Craig Joe Wright, Mike Bush, and Shane Wilson of the Joe Wright Group a call today. Phone number is 248-535-4750.
Nice. Very nice.
Solid.
Very nice.
I was on a mission to get this done today before Chris had to remind me.
Well, while we're in this sponsor timeout, I want to bring up another one of our sponsors, Bald Man Entertainment, who sponsors and presents Timeout with Steven Scott. It's a podcast where they talk about movies, TV shows, music, sports, and everything else. Some jokes, some drunk stories. They taste random things every week, which is a kind of a funny thing. If you've been able to listen to it yet, if you haven't listened to it, it's funny. They taste some really random foods, some really strange foods, along with a different beer every week. So
Nice.
it's pretty fun. Tune into Time Out with Steve and Scott, brought to you by Bald Man Entertainment.
Nice. Yes, I highly recommend that.
They do a good job.
I'm really interested in this tasting things. Like, are we talking like different culture foods?
Yeah.
Different random things?
Yeah,
Are
so-
they like
so-
importing stuff from overseas?
No, so like basically they go to like the, what is it called, the ethnic aisle or whatever it is,
Okay.
like the aisle in the grocery store where they have all the ethnic foods.
Yeah.
And so they just pick something
pick
random
one
and
out?
strange that they have never tried, and they try it.
Okay.
And they've done a couple things. They also did the Bean Boozled, which is the jelly beans, where you get the jelly beans. They have the same colors, but like one color, one of them tastes like popcorn, the other one tastes like dirty butthole, or like they're just really
I think
strange.
it's puke that it's supposed to taste
Well, whatever.
like. But yeah.
Like random. There's just random. Really.
Yeah.
So each color has 2 things that taste like. One is really good. One is really nasty.
Yeah.
And
It's a Jelly Belly thing. I know
yeah,
what he's talking about.
yes. So they've done that as well on there. So
Okay then. I've never heard of this, but all right.
what's funny
You
is
literally
I
have like a yellow one that is buttered popcorn
Yeah.
and a yellow one with like faint white spots
That apparently
tastes like vomit.
That apparently tastes like dirty butthole.
Yeah,
Well,
I haven't seen the
that was
dirty
just-
butthole, but I know vomit
that was
on there.
that was just a random one that I threw out there. But like,
like, all right.
they're very there's some very disgusting flavors. So I hadn't heard of it either. But I took Raylan to a candy store out at Great Lakes Crossing.
Yeah.
And right in the front of the line where we were paying, they had it was called Bean Boozled. And I was like, oh, this is what Steve was talking about. And I looked at it, and some of the flavors on there are really rancid. Like, there's just some really messed up shit.
There's like toe fungus and shit.
Oh, it's vomit, like rotting like there's just, I can't even think of, if you want to look them up for a second.
I'm literally looking it up
there's-
right now.
There's some rancid flavors in there, and all the rancid flavors look exactly like another flavor that is really good. And they're just, when you pick one, you don't know which one you're getting, you eat it, and you just randomly taste whichever one it is.
All right.
I
So
feel like this is a challenge I don't want to be a part of.
I'm with you on that one. Joe
we have-
agrees.
We have juicy pear or boogers,
Okay.
strawberry banana smoothie or dead fish, berry blue or toothpaste,
That's not bad.
That's not bad.
birthday cake or dirty dishwasher, peach or barf,
Nope.
tutti frutti or stinky socks, pomegranate or an old bandage,
Oh.
toasted marshmallow or a stink bug,
Okay.
cappuccino or liver and onions, and buttered popcorn and a rotten egg.
Yeah, that's gonna be a hard no for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. that's
I'm
it.
absolutely down to invite somebody onto the show to try all of these.
right.
Steve?
but not myself.
Or apparently, or maybe do that like that one chip challenge or whatever it is. I've seen.
Yeah.
Do that?
Where they
Yeah.
I'm out on that
It's
one.
like hotter than the ghost peppers and shit like that.
I
Joe
don't
doesn't
do
agree
hot
with
food.
that.
Joe doesn't.
No.
I don't agree with that either.
No. I just maybe when I was younger I could have tolerated that, but now I might be on my deathbed from doing that.
Yeah.
I just nope, I'm good.
Tomatoes have too much acid for me. I ain't not about to try fucking hot stuff.
I know, like a couple of the guys. I know a couple of the guys I work with. They just try to find like the hottest possible ramen they can find, and they just eat it just to see who can actually tolerate it more.
Some
And
people
I
are
just-
psychopaths.
And I just laugh at these guys. I'm like, honestly, this gives me great pleasure and joy
Right?
to see
Exactly.
you idiots do this. It's
I
great.
encourage everybody to do it. I'm just not going to do it.
No, I like whenever I'm out, like if I'm like at a grocery store or something like that, I'll just see if I can find like the hottest ramen I can possibly find, and of course I'll buy it. If you guys are gonna eat it, yeah, all right, do it.
Like hell, I even enjoy watching what's that wing show on YouTube?
Hot
yeah.
Ones. Hot Ones.
Yeah.
I'll watch the shit.
Yeah.
I love watching people do stupid stuff like eating hot shit that they shouldn't.
I've seen some of those one chip challenge ones.
Yeah.
Those are fucking hilarious.
Oh yeah,
They are
because you just see their face.
Dude, they're crying.
Uh-huh.
They're sweating.
Uh-huh.
They're drowning themselves in milk.
Oh, yeah.
Like it is some of the funniest shit ever. And I just look at that and I go, why would you do that to yourself? But I'm really appreciating it. Thank you.
Yeah.
I did hear, actually, now that you mentioned the drowning in milk thing, I heard Arby's actually has a sandwich
They
now
do.
that they're giving a free milkshake.
This,
out
Yes.
this
with.
is factual.
This is factual?
Yes.
Okay.
One of the guys that does this ramen thing, he got it last week.
The Diablo chicken sandwich, I think it is.
Yes, he got it last week,
And-
and yes, it is incredibly hot.
Okay.
And
Yes.
they do give you a free
They
vanilla
give you a
milkshake
free
with it.
Yes.
Hey.
Yep. But that tells me it's so goddamn hot, I won't appreciate the milkshake.
Right.
No.
So I'm good.
This is what I don't, especially if you're eating like wings, you get like atomic wings or whatever
Mm-hmm.
like that, and I think about it, or like a sandwich or something like that. It's just like you can't even taste what you're eating.
So I love food.
So do I.
At a point, yeah,
Right?
you're right.
I eat for my love of food. I
Right.
want to taste
Yeah.
my food. I want to enjoy my food. Now, do I like some heat every once in a while?
Absolutely.
Yes, I do. I don't like heat to the point where it's just heat and I can't taste the food.
Like, your tongue's
and
like numb. You can't taste anything.
Well, not to mention, like, some of these hot sauces are just, if they have flavor to them, that's one thing. But a lot of these hot sauces, which are so hot, it's just hot.
Right.
There's no actual good flavor to it.
Nope.
So you're ruining your food and you're just kind of trying to inhale it to say you did it as opposed to enjoying eating the food. And I'm a fat guy. I just enjoy eating. That's the way I don't want to scarf through food I'm not going to appreciate and enjoy.
No, same here. No,
I agree.
no, it's just it's not worth it in my opinion. Because like you go to like a bar and you do that, it's like you just wasted like $15-20 on whatever it is you got that was like crazy hot. Now you can't taste anything for the next
And
like
then
day.
you also wasted $15-20 on the 2 or 3 beers you needed to wash all the shit down because it
Exactly.
was too hot.
Right.
exactly.
And the 2 or 3 beers you drink after that to try and get drunk for a little while just to
Yeah.
make sure you don't
Right,
feel it as much.
right.
And
you
now
don't-
you're
and you
drunk
don't-
on the toilet shitting your brains
Yeah,
out.
and you didn't taste your beer and enjoy your beer because your tongue was dull. And I and I just bit the fucking inside of.
It's the
God.
fucking worst.
oh, man,
Oh,
It's one of those
That
things that
fucking
I don't
hurt.
wish on anyone.
that took a chunk out of my cheek.
Yep. And now, like for the next 3 or 4 days,
I'm gonna keep
every
biting
time
it.
your tongue's over there, you're just gonna be like, oh, God damn, that bite's still there. That bite's
Yep.
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 no doubt.
It's painful and it's annoying.
Joe agrees.
Joe agrees. Joe agrees.
You're lucky that it's still funny. But in like 2 or 3 weeks, I'm gonna just look at you and be like, "Will you just shut the fuck up already?"
No, it's my New Year's resolution.
No.
Joe agrees.
Yeah, you're gonna have to just agree with me because Joe agrees with everything.
Joe agrees.
Joe agrees.
Chris, anything?
Nope.
Frank, anything?
Joe's a massive Lions fan. We came to that conclusion last night because he has to agree with everything.
Joe agrees.
I just wanted to make sure that was mentioned today.
Fair enough.
Joe agrees. Want to thank everybody for listening and or watching. If you're looking for our podcasts or past podcasts, you can look at any of your favorite podcast providers. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, and YouTube. Check out SOTDET.com. Click on shop.
Go buy some stuff.
Buy some merch.
Yeah.
Please. We appreciate it. Got a lot of good stuff on there. Again, that's SOTDET.com. Shop.
Buy a hoodie. They're really comfortable.
The hoodies are nice. The shirts are nice. The T-shirts are nice. We have mugs. We have water bottles. We have
I'm just going to keep
a
telling
bunch of other
people
things.
how comfortable these hoodies are.
Do it.
Not because, like, I'm trying to promote our merchandise.
No, 'cause
because
you
they're
are.
genuinely that comfortable.
Joe agrees.
Can confirm.
Like, yes, we want your money too, but they're really comfortable. Like, you're going to be really happy too.
Yes. And one thing we brought up last week, which I want to mention before we get out of here, is we did not mention the passing of John Madden last week.
We mentioned Bob Saget and Betty White on a sports show and forgot John Madden.
I think it was because we forgot how long we'd been off the air, and that happened a few weeks before that.
That's
so,
possible.
like, we were off the air for a while. But, yeah, I want to say rest in peace to John Madden, who literally revolutionized the way fans look at the NFL.
Shit, football broadcasting for sure.
Yeah. Well, and
Video games,
and
everything.
the video game that he had a hand in making brought so many fans to the sport of football. I think he basically is one of the people that helped revolutionize how football is looked at today.
Yep.
And how big of a sport it's become. So,
And I'm going to speak for myself on this one. I'm not going to speak for you two, but I'm
If
definitely
you're going to
behind-
speak for yourself, then you're not speaking for us.
Joe agrees.
Fuck you guys. Put John Madden on the cover of next year's.
Oh, yes. I mean, if you don't put John Madden on the cover of next year's, that's just dumb.
That's
the movement's already started.
Chris agrees.
Yeah. Chris agrees. Joe agrees because he has to.
I love it.
We're out.
I love it. All right. Thank you for everybody for listening and or watching. On behalf of Chris and Frank, Joe agrees.
You don't speak for me.
See you next Tuesday.
And that is it for us today.
No! God, please, no!
Bye. Have a great time.
No! God!
Bye, guys.
No, 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 no.
Bye, buddy.
No!
Goodbye.
No!
Goodbye.
No!
It's never goodbye.
You know, we've been through our ups and been through our downs.
You were meant to be here tonight.
You guys will always be in my heart.
Great moments are born from great opportunity.
I think the most important part is that we all stay together throughout.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Live. Fight like hell. The best thing I have ever done, the best thing I will ever do, is be a dad.
God, I love you guys. Mamba out.